time without numbers. Our current crop of EC officials, we need as a nation to institute a forensic audit into their activities. We must also as a nation investigate 2020 elections. We can even decide to add 2012 elections. It doesn't matter. But 2020 elections must be investigated because I don't believe that the Supreme Court did justice to this country. They did not.
Okay.
They did not.
Okay.
For nothing at all. Jean Mensah never testified. She was not allowed to testify.
Yeah.
And that, for me, was an injustice done this nation. And a way of blocking information. Dr. Afantan testified in the 2012 petition. He testified. What is so special about Jean Mensah that because of legal gymnastics, sometimes, you see, when the quarreling lady, may not say, if he said, you will go the winning elections now. I mean, testify whichever way.
Yeah.
Whichever way. We can still find legal loopholes, whatever, and still declare President Akufo-Addo the president-elect. That, for me, was my position. But the mere fact the Supreme Court ended this argument, it took a second shine away from the 2020 petition.
Yeah.
It took a second shine away from it. Because at the idea punishing our 2020 way no. Some violence here is seen in 2024 no. Every 2020 petition and the Supreme Court judgment of the party. Almost say the elections are won at the polling station. So you think that politicians, the electorate, contestants, if the Supreme Court had allowed, for example, 2012 a petition say, every judge at the Supreme Court now will be actually judgment. And the year to go back more. Obia dear, we see me objectives because of this. So okay, this number to this number. They made certain propositions are leading to 2016 elections. Your conduct as on mine. There was an improvement in the electoral process. Ayero Akufo-Addo led to winning elections in 2016. What did we learn in 2020 electoral petition? Nothing. The only thing the Supreme Court told us was that elections are won at the
polling station.
In 2015, they have no business coming to the Supreme Court to come and seek justice one way or the other. No, as any petition, so it meant to say not justice for polling stations were and yes. Violence about it. Violence about and you could hear everyone quoting referring to the Supreme Court, the Electoral Commission itself saying they don't determine who wins.
Yeah. But
the polling station we know Uncle Fuatuaban, and a determination no. And you know we share your 2024 elections now. I think that probe will clear the air with respect to recruits. I hear returning officers near there, returning officers are easy. There shouldn't be that blanket cover. Individuals must take responsibility for their actions. And Niema we go against the CR 127. No. Say a minor onion shushamwa, a be repeat itself in 2028. It cannot be business as usual. We must investigate these things, improve. This is the very first time and about second time in the Fourth Republic, 2020 elections, and Nippon won a year. 2024, how many? About 4 or so also died. Why? And the President Akufo-Addo, why? Why should that be so? Why should that be so? So, sir, if you say, Omampenia, you are about the Amayora Mahama when you need about international business as usual. It means that as human beings, you are not learning. We need to learn to improve the system. Let the mandate of the people always prevail. We should not allow people using technicalities to give a winning to this and to give a defeat to that. It should always be the mandate of the people. Sankaya delayed coalitions near there. I don't think it's MPship elections are very problematic, such as we are finding today. And we have some few days, the 7th day of January, I bet you are in parliament and so on and so forth. We still don't have the full complement of our parliamentarians. And you think that this crop of EC have done well? They have not. And that is the more reason why some of us feel said that forensic audit must be done. Procurement processes near there, they must all thoroughly be investigated. And Kaban is saying, man, that said Dr. Farijan always went about with soldiers and police bodyguard in Manchester. You see, you Ochucha Kumbia, Australia, Ochucha Minibia, Australia, until you say, what would you may hear? You can go about freely with chest out. Again, and Oman Penin in penny for man all these things. And it meant to say there was something behind this. And you see, you may have your way legally, but politically, you may not. Socially, you may not. And public opinion will come hard against you. And if you are not careful, they may not be able to recover anytime soon. And you know, some penny to Abamano, some institute I'll be very much disheartened. I'll be very much disheartened. And if they want some of us, our assistance in any way, I think that as Ghanaians, we should all be ready and willing to assist. And ensure that the government or the state, Ghana, does not go down in its lowest ebb as we find it today.
Dog answer na me do be ko so nana nanado e de be bo chira no so no pedia akosui e wo ye electoral system imu ene eniema Bossman Asare ne Mnsịvely nyina aye. Do you support the call say as for investigations are working there should be a total overhauling e wo electoral commission? Some people need to go.
I mean, say, you are asking Muhammad whether he's a Muslim when he is the founder of that religion.
Okay.
This crop of issues, they cannot stand the test of time.
Okay.
But of course, Obia in a democracy, they must go through the due process.
Sure. Due
process is very important. And I think it's almost started some yesterday, this investigation you're making here. A committee of inquiry set it up. People are supposed to come and testify. You see the number of people who will be ready and willing to come and testify. After that, you go say, be brave. Look, a day potent Dr. What's the name? You know, Sribo.
Yeah, Dr. Sribo.
I don't think you need to I a day. So I need power very finity Mssä in or something of that sort. I didn't buy it. I mean, you could see say such a person has too much of MPP orientation, and Sasif said it was done on purpose. I mean, how can a president look us in the face, appoint Dr. Etuahine or so, a member of the commissioners? The president has no scruples. To hell with everybody. It is not as if say Obia any a kind of sympathy towards a particular party or orientation. It is not as if that is not the case. There are people who are equally neutral. They wait when the time is due. They decide because they have no stake as to who wins, who loses. They don't care. And until such people, they can just vote this way or that way. On the spur of the moment, they take that decision. But we need people who are apolitical, even if they are not politically exposed to the extent to say they can easily be identified, say they are going to be biased. Other than that, the system must be in such a way, say, even if you put Jesus Christ as the commissioner, he will not do things to favor Christians.
Yeah.
Even if you put Muhammad as the electoral commissioner, he will not do things to favor Muslims. That is the kind of person or persons we need at that place. As for the current crop of commissioners, the least said about them, the better. There is no way, as a nation, you see, this parliamentary way, I'm plunging this country into some kind of chaos. Imagine, did this delay coalitions, presidential, which the executive and the states are very higher. Do you think we'll still be here talking about some of these things? No.
Yeah.
But because Omu coalition they are put in place, and that one is just one constituency, you could see this one has lost, this one has won, and both sides knew BBC Akoso. But we share parliamentary now. Yeah, the point is that this parliamentary we shouldn't look at it say they are just mere numbers.
Sure.
They have effect.
Yes.
They have effect. And it's saying when the party finds itself in opposition, the number of MPs every month they pay about 10% of their salary to the coffers of the party to run the national, if you have your numbers shrunk as what the MPP is experiencing now, it means that economically and financially, almost some at the national level, two, once you have MPs in certain areas, like for example, areas NDC won't we need that, then no more we know. What that means is potentially, they could easily win those seats again come 2028. So, in a not too distant future, I'm going to say the MPP is more likely to stay in a position at the end of 2028 elections. They are more likely to do so because once you don't have the numbers, you don't have the wherewithal, you don't have the resources.
Yeah.
Unless the current elected government or elected president, on the successor, and also almost a means of having a successor a very problematic amount, because at the end of Mr. Mahama's era, there is going to be another faction in the NDC. Yes, there will be another faction. So if they don't manage that faction it's a problem for them come 2028 elections.
Yeah.
I think the NDC has really learned a lot of lessons in opposition. Yeah. I don't want to think in focus are setting up on my they will go into that kind of oblivion.
Yeah. Me daughter me say sa fashion ya waka wasemi going forward you be won come but quick one nyame ya doma, what are your expectations for Ochina Sona?
I think the voice of the people is the voice of God. The real state of the nation address, and only 2024 elections, Ghana for afternoon.
Okay.
Trust me.
Okay.
The president is going to eulogize his government. I don't understand why the president, your approval rating is somewhere 36% according to Global Info Analytics. Still, the president will still be touting a lot of. He's not moderate at all. He's not moderate at all. The free SHS, wakanwa samwa. Wakanwa samwa biya bibia sa wodidi o man mu ha. If you look at the state of the free SHS, many workers say after the holidays, reopening is becoming a problem. The resumption from holiday is problematic. Yeah. This is a flagship that the president, the vice president, all assigns of the party in government. And your campaign some day in, day out. Now look at what Charles is saying. Someone releases the car. Sa ebra mobile European day. Omoji tumwa enye. Now they have today and tomorrow for us to know exactly what is the state of affairs. And I think it's a chance so about Ghana for Abro. It's to say they were not talking enough.
Sure.
And I quite to say Kakaibiam Abino Edia a teacher for me. So if you speak as an individual teacher, if you are not transferred and interdicted, we're too free in fact. So it only took, lecturers in the universities, those in the academia with balls who could speak truth to power. Because they are not affected by that. Because many of us, about the same, and the Utiminya French, now Uber uses near more French, I was even to be and who found the crime best no nya,
and now, no.
Who for crime best no nya? Nankabana saying, no beer, where we SHS, what by university. Now, won't mean enter one sentence right, and the person has gone through the mail. I mean, how? When you deceive, or see education, I think they said the way and manner our current government has politicized education, especially free SHS, that mystery must be debunked by the incoming government. We don't want that. This idea of having a consultative meeting with policy makers, CSOs, education, people with weight qualification, any background expertise near there, and that will be owned by all, including all the unions. This is the way we should go. This is the way we think. This one, after that, they will come up with a document. How do you think that 8 years or 7.5 years of implementing free SHS, you are now introducing a bill at Parliament to tie the hand of the incoming government?
Yeah.
What to be that? What to be that? All this while, they don't be say. A different framework, paranormal penny in penny for the implementing free SHS. What is the framework? What is the framework? What is the theoretical or conceptual framework you see the implementation? I find you don't bill echo. That is a haphazard way of doing things. I don't think it was all because this policy came about as a political fulfillment, not more as an educational policy of fulfillment about boy or minor. Because the future of this country is education. And Ghana Statistical Service at the way by last year that our education grew by negative 4.9%. If the figure I got is right, negative 4.9%.
Sure.
Not even a positive.
Sure.
So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? As for the state of the nation, believe you me, the state of the nation. I said chokompo, a crochet, Yamakan nano.
Yeah.
The Timia, the Yen Timiano, a simple win to the Yen Timianye. Ebia, Yenya, Quenyananka, Yesa, ABC and D. But you will see the kinds of things the president will go and say. And trust me, he has never changed, he won't change. He's going to keep to his style of politicking. Shamelessly, though, he will keep to that particular style of politicking. And Sanka, we will be a but when say this particular 2024 elections, Ghana for Atwa Badwe Tiame, a Tiame vice president, it should let me have a sober reflection of exactly the kinds of things. The kinds of things your people have been feeding you to go and read.
Yeah.
Why can't you do double checking from other sources, from critical minds? That is something leadership always fails. You're going to say, you're Rollins or Quaco Commission Bibia. And I don't know what this guy said. No, what's no motor, so I quack or share, Coco Bishan Crawford, they will command him.
Yeah.
Uber who say, state security near the no move papa no mountain car. Uber so I say about back. It is a way of ensuring, say, I'm not always spoon-fed by people surrounding me, just for political convenience, telling me things that are not real. And I think that if President Akufo-Addo, who got a very high mark in 2016 elections, and who has gotten a very lower, whose political career has sunk to the lowest ebb, should have a sober reflection of what really transpired. Now, also, and yet a realistic check on himself.